issues. You must have heard something called IPO, initial public offer, right? So why the companies, issue shares and all the stuff. Next comes some of the prerequisites, for investing in security market. Typically that we talk about trading and also the demat account. And then investing due diligence, what all that you need to really adhere to. How do you apply for the public issues? Some of the rights of you as a shareholder, and the protection measures from the SEBI in the recent past, do's and don'ts while you invest. A couple of these advices to the respective investors like you. And of course, should you have any concerns or complaint about your stockbroker, or you feel that you've been cheated, where can you raise the complaint? Is it on a website, or you can send an email? You have multiple options, to be honest. You can send an email, log in the complaint in the website, or probably you can visit our service centers and you can courier it, you can post it. You have multiple options, so you don't have to worry about it. Information and also the help desk of SEBI. So for any wild guesses, some of the richest people in the world, can you type the names? I want to see some of your answers in the chat box. Can you type some of the richest people whom you know around the world? In case that you're logged in through your mobile phones, it's fine. But in case you're logged in through the common platform like the auditorium and all, you don't have to worry. So have you logged into the auditorium or from the individual mobile phone? Alright, so don't have to worry. So let's now quickly move on. Some of the richest. Now you might be wondering, come on, Gautam Adani, yes, of course, irrespective, whatever the speculations today you and me witness. But this man continued to be one amongst the top 10. But yes, it's all momentary hiccups any company or an organization would go through. And Bill Gates, Mukesh Ambani, Larry Page, and those many, Warren Buffett, and all these people, right? Now the secret behind to their success is definitely they are the ones who never believed in short term. Having said that, given an opportunity, all of you love to be part of such company, isn't it? You don't want to be part of a company which is making losses, which is the company which is registering losses. So you want to be part of that company, been continuously registering profits and profits. So what is the source of their wealth? If some of you might wonder, how is that they're, becoming so rich? Is it the ownership of the business or something else? Right? So when we have to define the ownership, it's nothing but the number of shares, in fact, one owns. So what percentage of shares in their own company they actually own? That's something which actually makes them so rich. Because when the company performs well, obviously that will have an impact on the stock price. So when the stock prices go high, why it goes high? Because a lot of investors are in a hurry to buy such stocks. So when there is a high demand, obviously the worth of this particular company would go high. By default, their wealth also increases. So that's a simple secret to their success. Having said that, look at this board. I'm sure you all can relate this to the chessboard. You are absolutely right. It's a chessboard. So a chessboard will have 64 squares. Now treat this particular chessboard as a company, just for example, right? So 64 squares, assuming each square is valued 1 rupee, right? So 62 squares multiplied by 1. If you want to be the owner of the company or the value of the company, if in case you want to assess the value of the company, it's 64 rupees in this example. Assuming if you want to buy 50% of the shares, if you want to buy 50% of this company, and I'm pretty sure that you will have an answer. Therefore, 64 divided by 2 is 32. So, if you want to buy 50% of the company, you should be paying 32 rupees. Now, why this example? Like I said before you take a call in investing in shares or stocks, whether through the primary market in terms of buying an IPO or a secondary market. Now, in the primary market, what is the primary market, which I'm going to speak to you at length later? IPOs, you all come up, right? Initial public offer. These offers would be valid only for, I mean, they will issue this with that time frame of around 7 days, 10 days. So that's a company's call. So within that particular 10 days or 7 days, you must subscribe. But before you subscribe, there are some critical elements you need to be mindful about. Number one is, who are the directors, right? Number two, were there any speculations in the past, if in case these directors are a part of any of the company, any kind of litigations against them? And most important, what are the fundamentals of the company, right? Because you will know when you're investing, because company issues shares only twice. Number one, for inception. Second, for expansion. Now I'm talking about inception. To run the company, they need working capital, right? Employee payments, infrastructure payments, raw material purchase, etc., etc. Having said that, most important is the fundamentals, and the fifth element that you need to look into is, what are the risk factors involved in this particular company? Because every company mandatorily have to publish the risk factors which the company foresee for their particular products, and these details are available in both their the detailed prospectus as well as the short prospectus. So when you're buying an IPO, you don't have time to go through 50 pages, 60 pages, 100 pages prospect. You can ask for the brief prospect, which will be hardly around 3-4 pages. So that will have all the details. Basis that, you should take a call. Should I really go ahead? And who are the directors? Are they prominent? Do they have some good name in the society? And which are companies that are the part of, they are already an existing director, etc., etc. You need to figure out. Having said that, the price of the share, has a direct correlation to how the company performs. For example, at BSE, the Bombay Stock Exchange, we have 30 scripts, right? And you get to see them. And these 30 scripts represent not only 30 companies, but of course the complete sector and industry as a whole. So the performance of these companies has a direct correlation to the industry, and industry's performance has a direct correlation to this performance of this company. Likewise, we saw it. So company's reputation increases, profits also increases, and by default, your money also, you will grow more richer. Now, what would you do in case you're given an opportunity, right? You have come across, or you feel, and you have also understood, basis your research, the future is going to be oil refinery. That means all oil refinery industry companies are expected to register good profits and good money, and now you have an option. Either you set up your own business in the oil refinery. Second option is you buy the shares in this oil refinery, the refinery company. So which option is easier? So I will only answer this in advance, because looks like you have all logged into the common platform in your college. So buying shares makes more sense rather than setting up the business, because it's not easy to set up a business. It demands crores and crores of rupees. What if in case you have an opportunity to invest in just hundreds and thousands, right? You could still be a part of that company, being an owner to the kind of money that you have done the investments. Having said that, how can you buy shares? One, under the capital markets, you have two options. Either you buy the initial public offer directly from the manufacturer. Now, what is initial public offer? It is as good as you buying sugar cane. I have no idea which part of Tamil Nadu you are a part of. So I'm pretty sure that you all know sugar cane. Let's say that you are driving to a distant location. Suddenly you find some sugar fields. So what would you do? You would directly go up to the the farmer who is in charge of the owner, and you would ask him for 1 or 2. In case you ask for 1 or 2, they don't normally charge you. But if you ask for 10, 15 and all, they would charge you some minimal price. Could be around 5 rupees per the one sugar cane and all that. But if you buy the same sugar cane right in the market, or from the person who comes and sells it to you on the streets, obviously you would pay around 15 rupees or 20 rupees per sugar cane. You see the difference. This is nothing but the distribution cycle, right? So in the distribution, what happens, the flow, it's actually not a cycle, right? And it's the distribution platform where what happens, from a manufacturer till the end user, there are a lot of middlemen who are involved. Anything that you buy. So, for example, let's say that I want to buy a laptop. A laptop, a manufacturing cost could be only around 35,000 rupees. But by the time it comes to your hand, a high-end laptop might cost you around 1,20,000 rupees, a good MacBook. So you're paying almost 70 to 80,000 or 90,000 rupees more. It's because there are so many, levels involved, taxes is involved, and imports and export duty and etc. etc. So everybody will have their own margins. If he's giving it to you at 35,000 rupees, that means obviously that his margin could be around easily 10-15,000 rupees. So his overall manufacturing cost might be 20, you would be selling it at 35. So that's a primary market and this secondary. Now what is secondary market, by the way? Secondary is trading. You can buy, you can invest in shares through trading. There is another option. You might feel, boss, trading, I do not have an experience. I don't know anything about it. I don't have so much of money to invest. Neither I have time. Can you suggest me easiest way to buy shares? So you can be part of the company through mutual funds also, right? So you don't own the shares directly, but the money that you invest in those specific funds, it could be a large cap or a mid cap or a small cap. Here too, we invest your money into performing companies only, right? So you're not the owner of that particular company though, but yes, you are entitled for creating wealth for yourself and your family. You'll have all the kind of flexibility through the chosen fund. So you have two options, either to directly invest or you be a passive investor if you feel that you don't have expertise. Next, under the mutual funds, you have multiple options. Number one, you can directly put the money, or let's say that you have lump sum money with you. You don't really feel like taking the headache of quarterly, monthly, weekly, and all the stuff. Come on, annually. I don't want to do that. I just want to dump the money at one go and just wait for 10 years, 15 years. Then lump sum option makes more sense for you. Then comes SIP or STP. So SIP stands for Systematic Investment Plan. Here you can start your investments with as low as even 500 rupees, right? You can pay daily, quarterly, fortnightly, weekly. You have all the options, and this will really help you to experience different types of markets, different phases of markets, volatile market, bearish market, bullish market. And if you average your purchase price, you'll be surprised to know you must have bought the units at much lesser price compared to others in SIP. Now what is STP? This is nothing but Systematic Transfer Plan. Now what happens here is technically you would know, you have already predetermined what percentage of your investment should get into equity, right? For example, you're paying 1 lakh every month. In that, you've already decided out of this 1 lakh, I want only 30% or 40% should get into the target fund or equity. So that is STP for you. So this I have already explained you what's the difference between a primary market and also a secondary market. Most important, remember, if the intermediaries for the primary market is like merchant bankers and also the RTAs. You can't directly go to the company and buy, right? You will normally go through subscription model through a bank, middleman. But in case of a secondary market, you need obviously the people support. Again, the middlemen, they are called stockbrokers and also the DPs. Having said that, primary market, the types of public issue, how do they issue shares? They need money to, they have already started the company for the working capital to run the company is very smooth. For smooth operations, they need money. That's public issue, right? So Most important, you must know what is the bonus issue. Rest everything, of course, you know it well. In case you're the new or listening, but I'll give you a broader perspective too. Don't worry. Bonus issue is nothing but whenever the company is not declaring, dividends. In such case, they issue bonus shares. Remember, bonus shares will not be entitled for any kind of dividends as such. So, what are dividends? This is actually the choice of the company to declare a percentage of their profits to be allocated in the form of a dividend, per 1,000, share, or maybe for every one share, what is the kind of dividend? They have their own calculations, right? So, for having said that, in a qualified institutional placement, you and me are not involved. It's a corporates and all that. Now, IPO, you already know what is FPO. This is a follow-up. That means after issuing the IPO, still if the company needs more money, they can do a follow-up issue, right? Having said that, do you think market should be regulated? Yes, of course. Imagine a market without the control. Anything for that matter without the control. Or if in case your parents are not strict, you just imagine what could happen. It's as good as that, right? To make it see, if the teachers are not strict, what happens, So, to be honest, this is probably the second college in my entire the last 4 years of reaching out to the colleges where I have not kept you in the mute. It's unbelievable. I think some 2 or 3 days back there was another college. Normally when we conduct program, we turn on the audio options for the participants because there will be so much of noise in the background. And the attention, students, how they are, right? And you guys are phenomenal. And my salutes to your college authorities and the head of the departments of the principal. You're so disciplined. The pin drop silence that when I'm talking right now. So for a couple of these questions I'm answering on your behalf, the reason is I know that you're centrally logged in. So for markets have to be regulated. Now who regulates the markets in India? Obviously it's SEBI, Security and Exchange Board of India. It's not AMFI. Now the 3 key mandates of SEBI. Number 1, we are here to protect the interests of the respective, the investors. And that is you. And you are important for us. And we seek the feedback time and again. We do outreach, promote and also develop the security market. We have grown phenomenal, right? And of course, the core duty is to regulate the security markets and also connected matters. Some of the major works done till date, number 1 is improvement in market design and regulation. We keep revisiting, right, and the late guidelines, and where need be, we would like to, reframe or revisit and all that. And by virtue of, the efficiency, the kind of, the focus what we have paid in terms of investors protection plus also design regulation, by default the efficiency and the transparency, that is something, getting more investors year on year, motivating them to come forward to take part in the investments through SEBI-driven, the sectors, and availability of the new product. So we keep offering time-tested new solutions. Well, most important, what do you do to invest in security market? It is a must that you should have a demat account, and of course you should also have a trading account which your banker would help you. Remember the demat, and of course to open the demat and the trading account, some of the prerequisites, what do we need is nothing but the PAN card, and your bank account, and of course the proof of address. So this is nothing but the KYC, know your customer. But otherwise what happens, every Tom, Dick and Harry gets into the trading, and the black money what they bring in there, we don't want that to happen. So there are strict norms. Well, given an opportunity, I'm pretty sure all of you love to be part of a growing company, good management, and of course healthy balance sheet. You don't want to be a part of the company which has a bad management, shrinking profits, and not so healthy balance sheet. So how will you find the information before you do an investment? Quite very simple. Tick up the second these days, every information you get. Number 1, industry analysis, because it is a must. Which industry that it represents, that particular company, whether it's a pharmaceutical industry or it's the infrastructure industry, likewise, pharma, infra, IT, banking, the list goes, FMCG, the list goes on. So which industry is doing well now? Next, about the company, you can easily make out if the company is under profit or loss. Look just by looking at their balance sheet. Financial ratios. So what's the current, debt ratio, the credit, a lot of things, credit ratios and borrowings, adequacy in terms of capital, attrition, everything details that you get through the company balance sheets, the books, basically investors presentation they call it. Then of course, management track record. Who are these directors? Who's the chairperson? What are the track records in the past? And, any kind of the challenges and etc. Next comes the future projections. So what's the best that we foresee about this company or the industry in the future? Because there are a lot of industrial experts who will give you these kind of ideas and things. So yes, of course, most important, you must apply your own logical senses and the research. Just don't blindly follow. Otherwise, it's a risky proposition. Now, why to do due diligence? In case you have some questions in the mind, never do an investment without thinking, without doing any kind of research. I've told you, blindfolded investments, people lose money, right? And the simple rule for investment is, number one, know your goal. What's your goal? Number two, what's the kind of money that you need if you have to achieve this goal? Three, whether it's a long-term goal, short-term goal, or a medium-term goal. So broadly that you classify. Then, is it that you're parking all your money into one single asset class? Don't ever do that. You should diversify. So you need to be proactive, understand the past performance of the company, and of course, that's quite possible that you definitely make wealth if you can pay attention to these foundational questions. Now, what type of questions that you need to ask yourself before you do an investment? Or if in case somebody comes up to you and tells you that I want to, I am already done investments, you also should do an investment. You question yourself, is this company revenue generating? And if it's obviously, if it's generating, is it increasing year after year? Right? Or a loss booking company? Obviously you will not take a call, right? So if the company is making profit, are they able to repay their debts? What is the current position compared to their own competition? So these are the things you need to consider. So if you do not have time, you can take the support of stockbrokers or registered stockbrokers. Basically, you can ask for their registration details. Mutual fund distributors or registered investment advisors. You can take advice from any of them because they would have knowledge. Well, how to apply for the public issue, which I've already told you. Most important is, self-certified syndicate banks, and these are all provided by across all the banks more or less. And there's going to be a bid amount and a minimum that you need to buy X number of shares, all these details. And you need to just complete the form online. These days everything is online. And first open a Demat account, followed by the application form filling, and of course, completing other formalities, submitting your KYC. Some of the rights of you, most important, you have all the rights in terms of, asking for, or rather receiving, annual reports, audited financial statements, and notices of the general body meetings, where you can also take part. Other information disseminated by company. You have all the rights to attend the company meetings, and you can also contribute to the corporate governance, decisions and all that. Elections, you can be a part of. So you can also challenge or ask questions to the board of directors. You can place also, you feel that something important should be part of the agenda of a general body meeting, yes, you can propose resolutions, etc. You can do all. Be a part of the voting and to approve the mergers, etc. And you can also inspect the company's statutory books and records. You can transfer the shares when you wish to. And you can also raise grievance about this company in the SEBI driven, the SEBI website, this course. Having said that, some of the key measures what the SEBI has taken in the past. I mean, we have been taking these kind of measures in time and again. Number one, through the eKYC, we make the life very simple. Power of attorney, if somebody is looking forward for internet trading facilities, so we also urge that one should have a power of attorney to act on behalf. Pledge or re-pledge, these are basically acceptance of securities by way of pledging by client. So you can pledge and take some kind of loan, all this kind of things. And then basic services demat account is called BSDA. Demat account, of course, now comes to at a very, very reduced cost for retail investors. Mutual funds, this is a blessings in disguise for people, those who want to be passive investors. And we've also started labeling the schemes, right, based on the risk involved. In the mutual funds, you can easily now make out for the riskometer. This is again an initiative by SEBI. And of course, investment advisors, the fee is also being kept right now, right? Having said that, some of the do's and don'ts in investing in security market, make sure that you receive your funds within 1 day, the payout date. You want to, let's say, sell out. You can't keep the money with your stockbroker because there's a high possibility of misuse. And most important, power of attorney is not a mandatory document. Be careful while you're executing POA. So who is the person whom you're nominating to act on your behalf? If that person doesn't have a knowledge, you lose your money. Right. So contract notes within 24 hours for your trades, and statement of account at least once every quarter from the, you should receive the statement account from your stockbroker, and they have to send it to you, so that you can make out what money you done the investments, what the percentage of growth overall. Having said that, if you have any dispute, you can always file an arbitration with PSC. Avoid keeping excess money in your broking account, which I've told you already, right? And please, ensure that the stockbroker doesn't pledge your securities to raise funds. There are possibilities. They'll, you start blindly trusting your stockbroker. They might even cheat you. Using your money, they may raise the fund. If nothing works out, they lose your money too. And don't keep any time a signed delivery instruction, because if you keep a delivery instruction slip which is already pre-signed advance, and there is a possibility your stockbroker can misuse that also. They might say that I buy this stock because you already given me this signature. Go ahead, be careful, right? And you must also register for SMS alerts and all that. This is something which I've already told you. Do not share your password and user ID with anybody. And please draw your check only in favor of the stockbroker, not personal account and all that. And don't share your internet trading account password with anybody. And please don't get carried away with advertisements, most important. And don't blindly imitate what others are doing. Apply your own logic. And don't blindly follow media reports, hot tips and all this stuff. Some people will even send you through the SMS and all. Be careful. So for unsolicited messages might come to you through the social media, via SMS, Telegram, WhatsApp. People luring you for 16, 20, 25% invest money with me. So this is where SEBI is again very, very careful in terms of these kind of the challenges what an investor could face, and we strongly advocate investors not to be. Alright, so now I centrally muted. Looks like there is some challenge there. So these are some of the examples how people can lure you. So beware about it. And you can also log into a trading terminal to upload your complaint here too. And BSC, whenever the time permits, you can also go through the kind of initiatives what we have taken. Some of the cautions, we reach out to our people through the social, the digital platforms that your contact, email, your mobile numbers, etc. Right, you can raise the impulses like this. Objective, obviously, it's to protect the integrity of security market and interest of the investors. Where need be, we will also take necessary action, right? And some of the advices to the investors like you is no impulsive buying. Don't be in a hurry to buy stocks. Please take your time to research. And buying in excitement and selling in panic, it doesn't make sense. And you must also be aware of your rights and responsibilities. Right. And please register only through SEBI registered intermediaries. You can ask for their ID details and all. So you can raise your complaints, which I've already told you, logging into our website www.scores.gov.in. Right, and this is nothing but SEBI Complaints Redressal System. Scores stand for SEBI Complaints Redressal System. Very investors friendly, don't worry about it. So other key informations, of course, it's quite self-explanatory. You can dial our number or ask SEBI for more information. Stock exchanges, they in fact bring the investors and the companies together. On one side, the companies will generate the capital through investments, and investors in fact generate the wealth over a time by virtue of staying invested for a long time. So now let's look into some of these interesting topics: the modes of placing order, contract notes, how do we settle buy and sell trade, payment of margin, early pay, ingredients, etc. So you can trade. If you want to trade stocks in the secondary market, you have multiple options. You can visit the broker's office. You can trade through phone call, email of the stockbroker, and of course by visiting their website or by using their mobile app. So contract note essentially speaks on the basically a contract between you and the other person. It also records of any transactions which happens between your investments and sales and all this stuff. Right. And in case of any discrepancy, you can always contact your respective stockbroker. So the contract note contains even the date of the transaction, time of the transaction, price during the transaction, quantity, how much did you buy, trade ID, various charges, etc. So how do we settle? Most important is normally if it's a cash segment T+2, that means when you want to sell today, then you get your money back if it's a cash segment within 2 days, then 48 hours. And in case of a derivative segment, it is T+1. Right. So normally, the payouts you're going to get it within 24 hours. As per the payout pays and all that. So for pay-in, basically, this pay-in is completely different. When you want to invest, and pay-out is when you receive your money. Having said that, there is something called 20%, the margin, right? So there are cases where at times investors may not have all the money, but still they want to buy the stocks and they want to lose it at that particular price. So here you can pay a 15 to 20% margin in advance to a stockbroker, and the remaining money he will pay for you. He'll buy the this units for you. Next, there's an early pay option, right? And which I've told you in one of the slides. Here you want to buy. When you want to buy, you're now paying the money in advance. So in such cases, there is no margin money you need to pay. Right? You don't have to pay any kind of margin money because you're settling for money. Having said that, grievance settle time and again, once again, a reiteration for you. You have a dispute with your stockbroker, you can definitely raise the complaint. And all the copies of the correspondence within the training, you can upload. Just we need to upload it to the website, or you can query it to us. Online portal is there for you. You can email it to us. You can send a physical letter to the Investor Service Center. Also, complaint can be filed by investor at the nearest Investor Service Center. Details are available in our website. Depository. So what exactly, who are these, what happens here? So services offered by the depositories, one is the converting your physical certificates to the electronic. Second is, the remat. First is demat, second is remat. It's a reverse of demat. Basically, here what we do, we convert the electronic securities into physical security. So giving you that kind of flexibility in the way that you are the owners, beneficial ownership. So you can avail these services through the depository, the participant, and which is of course a must for all of you, and it's quite 100% safe any kind of demat security. Transmission, most important. The nomination is a must because in case something goes wrong with the investor, if he is no more, obviously you must have mentioned the nomination to whom one should go. So this is the reason why we recommend that every respective investor should have a nominee or a legal head to avoid any kind of future complications. So pledging, you all know, it is like it's like what do you call it? So it offers like a collateral. It works like a collateral, right? You're pledging this to take some kind of money, right? And you want to borrow. Now, what all you can pledge? The shares you can pledge, bonds you can pledge, and borrow funds. So that will really gives you a momentary relief in case you have some liquidity challenges. So margin pledge, I've already told you 20% why you should pay and all this stuff. I'm going to skip it. Basic service demat account, BSDA that we call it. Facilities actually for the small investors like equity fund or debt securities, all facilities one can really exercise to the demat account. And of course, these are statements that you're going to carry regularly. A consolidated account statement related to your equity, what is your holding currently, debt securities, mutual funds, and etc. So grievance addressing online, you don't do check it through. You can visit these websites of your company. You can send an email with all full details. Toll-free numbers you call it also. So mutual funds, in fact, Bombay Stock Exchange, our Star Mutual Fund is the most preferred mode to transact mutual funds. And in fact, you'll be surprised to know the India Mutual Fund AUM set under management. As of now, it's growing much more than 14% CAGR, and by 2025 we expect this to be around 100 trillion with BSC Star Mutual Fund. But we are in the core, the ecosystem. Of course, between the traditional and also the BSC Star Mutual Fund distribution, what's the differences? You see, everything is electronic and digital here. You can submit your complaints online, upload your KYC online, transact online, unlike any kind of manual interactions elsewhere. Having said that, for more information, we request you please scan this app and download the app. And you can, whatever that I'm talking to you right now, you'll get all the details. And of course, thank you so much for your time, and I'm wishing you all a very, very all the best. You have been tremendously patient, and you can also follow us on social media platforms on Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, and also Facebook. So that completes my presentation. We are bang on time. If you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them. If you don't have any questions, we can conclude this session.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It was a very good presentation with a clear point-to-point movement explanation, sir. One thing I want to know, whether BIAP is a part of Bombay Stock Exchange or you are an individual, independent of BSC.
Oh, you're talking about me, right? See,
I'm Board of Industry Academy Partnership.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, I'm an empaneled faculty for both the BSc and also the NSC. So I represent both the entities. My core job is to educate India.
Sir, is it only relating to investor awareness? You have Industry Academy partnership or anything else also, sir?
Well, that's a good question. In fact, I have my own company and I conduct a lot of programs for students, corporates on the behavioral, personality management, interviewing skills, transferable skills, corporate, you name it, all the kind of programs. So personally, I conduct hundreds of programs for various colleges and corporates, from a college to a corporate in terms of leadership and so on.
So I'll have a personal talk with you later.
Yeah,
My
sure.
point is, in spite of many of the awareness program we have conducted in our campus, still there is not a motivation from the student side relating to stock market. What is your suggestion, sir?
My personal suggestion is, look, it's always wise when you start young, because any of the millionaires or the billionaires that you get to see today are the ones who started very early in their life. So the secret to success in making money and becoming wealthy is to start early, stay invested for long term, right? You see, there are the fixed rate, for example, fixed deposits. The rates have been declined over time. Similarly, PPF is a good option, no doubt, but from 10% it has dropped to 7.1%. So, when you have the guarantee products, the rates being so low, inflation is something many people ignore. And students, you might be at the age of now 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, whatever the age, but once you get married, you will start feeling the heat about it. You know what? The cost of education is something you need to really look into. The 15% inflation too, plus a pre-nursery starts with 1.25 lakhs today, and your vaccination for the child itself would cost you 2.5 lakhs over 5 years. Forget about all this. Let me surprise you with even a baby nappy pad for 2 years. You'll spend 62,000 rupees at the rate of 16 rupees 50 paisa per huggies, into 5 a day. So with this, I strongly recommend that all of you should have equity exposure, because when you turn old, you may not want to take the risk, and I don't recommend you to have higher equity exposure when you are, old. So 50 plus or 45 plus, I don't recommend you 100% equity exposure. But now you are all 20, early 20s. Once you start earning, or even with your pocket money, you can start actually mutual funds. You take pocket money goes just like this. When we can afford to pay 300, 400 rupees for biryani, or a 50 rupees per masala dosa, you will be surprised to know, even for that 50 rupees masala dosa per day into 1 year, you can actually take 1 crore life insurance cover also. That means term insurance. So before I conclude the message to all of you, become more investor savvy. You probably the money saving person. The reason is the world is turning out to be dangerous. Nature is thinking faster than human. Pandemic, 2.5 or 3 years, you all know what happened, right? So these 3 years, people suffered losing jobs, pay cuts. Many families even didn't have money because they just spent money like that, right? Some people had property, but who had the money to buy the property during those days? If the hospital bill is 12 lakhs and 13 lakhs, boss, life is not going to be easy at all. Let me tell you. Because I also have children like you at your age. My daughter is 21 and my son is now 16 or 17 years. I've taught them the art of financial planning. I've been teaching them for the last almost 6-7 years. Right? And they now have their own bank accounts. They know how to manage. So how many of you have bank accounts, first of all, for yourself? If you do not have a bank account, you must talk to your parents, and you can't spend all your pocket money, isn't it? Give them a surprise, right? Let me tell you, my dear friends, one last thing before I conclude. To earn 1,000 rupees pension, you should have 2 lakhs in your account. Because this 2 lakhs can give you 6% simple interest, that becomes 12,000 per annum, divided by 12 is equal to 1,000 per month. Now tell me, can you lead your life with 1,000 rupees? Your petrol itself is 101 rupees, 109. In Tamil Nadu, you might get little lesser compared to Bangalore. Bangalore, we pay 101 rupees, and Tamil Nadu might be around 96 rupees or 97. You can't go and live in Goa, right? Because in Goa, the petrol prices are much lesser, almost 15-20 rupees difference. So, now why I'm saying this is the cost of living is going to go high, medical is going to go high, treatments and etc. Education fees is going to go high. Everything is going to be expensive, including the onions that you buy for your house. So be prepared for a worst tomorrow, and that preparation can happen if only that you don't ignore the advice what the financial advisors do. By the way, I'm a celebrity, the financial advisor. That means in my 25 years, I used to manage Citibank, Deutsche Bank, Karuvasha Bank, Development Credit Bank, Axis Bank. I was the head, managing certain portfolios for representing different insurance companies as a portfolio, the bank assurance head for L&D and all that, right? I used to manage the portfolios for top film celebrities like Mahesh Babu, talk about Telugu film industry, and then come to Arjun Sarja, he's our family friend incidentally, right? And talk about cricketers like VVS Lakshman, Rahul Dravid, certain and so on. Now everybody, let me tell you, even the rich people also think twice before they spend money. So my suggestion to all of you, first message, please spend wisely and invest generously. Second is invest for long term. So good luck. I hope that answers your question, ma'am. Thank you so much. You had a very interesting question for the students.
So one more question, sir.
Yes,
is it advisable to go for direct investment or to get the support of wealth managers?
Good question, ma'am. I would not suggest anybody at this moment to go direct because that demands a lot of money, expertise and time. So go through passive mode. Initially, you can begin with something called mutual funds, SIPs. And you can also take this. Sometimes, few wealth managers might be very partial. So this is the reason why I recommend is apply your own, simple, what you call research. You get all the details in websites like moneycontrol.com. A wealth manager comes and tells you, you should invest 60% in this stock. Now, just mention the stock name in the moneycontrol.com. You get all the reports. What is the asset under management? What is the kind of dividends these kind of stocks have declared? Probably how is the growth, annualized returns, absolute returns? Every details that you get it, and how the performance of this fund against other kind of fund of a similar category. So once you know this fund is really at a good stage and they've been extremely great and in terms of ranking, rating, everything, then you can take it on. So begin with SIPs, start with as low as even 500 rupees, 1000, 2000, whatever you are comfortable, and from there you can graduate. But does it mean you should put all the money in only in equity? No. You can also have your money in bonds, gold ETFs, for example, or gold. I don't recommend you to buy any gold ornaments because in southern India, especially whether Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, people love gold, no doubt about it. But be careful when you buy gold ornaments. Even the stones which are there in the gold ornament, jewelry person is cheating you with the ornament. Then what he tells you? Instead, you buy gold without stones, the ornament. Have minimal ornaments, but you can invest in something called gold ETFs or gold bonds. Because it's a paper, nobody can touch it. Your robber also will not see what kind of paper is it.
The recording has stopped.
Thank you very much, sir. Dear students, do you have any questions?
So you can collect my contact number through Aisha ma'am. You have Aisha Sabrina's number, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. So she can share with you my number.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care. Good luck, my dear students.
So, 1 minute. Students will be giving vote of thanks, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, there is no adjectives we can use to describe how useful, informative and enlightening your speech was. Thank you, sir, for making our students aware about BSc Investor Awareness Program. Every thought you produce, anything you say and action you do, it bears your signature. Thank you once again, sir, for your wonderful session. As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. No duty is more urgent than that of returning thanks. Now, I call upon Keertana for vote of thanks.
Good morning to the gathering. I offer a warm welcome to the beloved professors and students on this beautiful and glorious day. I'm really thankful for giving a chance to deliver a vote of thanks. First, I would like to thank Mr. Anand BP sir for giving us precious time in your busy schedule. It really means a lot to us. You have surely added to the charm of this event. Here, I want to thank the management and principals and our beloved professors for organizing such an auspicious seminar. Without your motivation, this event may not complete it successfully. Last but not the least, I would like to thank our students for your keen participation. Finally, we would like to conclude with a quote: study while others are sleeping, work while others are laughing, prepare while others are playing, dream while others are wishing. Thank you all.
All right, Devya Sajano, thank you so much. Good luck, and wishing you all great wealth. That belated New Year wishes in advance, belated New Year wishes rather, and Pongal we already done with it. Now, advance Gadi wishes for all of you, and take care.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Wish you the same.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. So what I would do, 1 second, ma'am. I would send you a direct message so that you get the details. Aisha ma'am also can give you my details too. Aisha ma'am, you're there? All right, no issues, no issues. Thank you ma'am. Good luck once again, everybody. Take care.